Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about something very important when it comes to order block trading that a lot of people don't really focus on. Now, of course, this is for people who are more advanced, right? It will be more easier for you if you do have some form of knowledge when it comes to order blocks or Btmm. As you all know, I combine Btmm with my order flow trading, right? So if you guys have been following my videos, you'll be able to understand what I mean by order blocks or what I mean by base areas. And today I want to show you something very important, and for me, I call this a trap move. I know people of course have different ways of calling certain things, right? But for me, it's a trap move when I see a setup, right? So let me just explain what I'm about to teach you right now. Basically, if we have an order block, guys, if this is our order block and we have validated this order block in let's say this is where we've been given an order block right there, price moves away, right? Price moves away. What usually happens in this case is when price moves away from an order block, right, these moves will usually be very fast moves or aggressive moves away from that. And what will basically happen is, as we have such, all right, most people will start selling, right? Some people even find the market all the way down here, and you still find people trying to sell there, and this is where people usually get trapped. This is where we usually find those peak formations, and then the market will slowly go back to that order block, right? Once it reaches the order block, right, collects those orders which were not filled, it continues going to the downside. Now this is where a lot of people get trapped, because all those people who are selling here, going all in, right, full margin. I know people will go full margin just by seeing such moves, right? They go full margin, and guess what? The market will slowly blow your account, slowly take those people out. And I know a lot of people, as they see this move going to the upside, they probably think we're wrong, right? They see a peak formation and they start going long, right? There's a bunch of traders going long right there, a bunch of traders going long. And you know what happens? As the market comes back to the order block, right, it will also move away with the same similar aggressiveness that you would have seen at the beginning of this move right there, right? So why is this important? Once you have established, or rather identified, once you have identified your order block, right, and you have identified the aggressive moves from it, right, and as price continues to go to the upside, if you have to get an entry right here, if you have to get an entry right there, your safest take profit will be all the way down here. This is what we call a safe area, right? A safe area for you to take your profit. And such areas is very good, because this would mean if you're taking your trade at this point, this would be your risk and your reward would be all the way down here. Already, this is already good, right? If you can focus on taking such trades, you will be able to become consistent when you have mastered this, right? So I'm going to show you guys an example, all right, on EURUSD, right? I'm going to show you guys an example on EURUSD, right? If we are just going to look at this chart right now, let's start here from the bottom, right? Let's start from this bottom. We can all see this is a peak formation, right? The nice peak formation that we had, and then from the peak formation, what do we have? We've got a level 1 or 1 week of rise into a consolidation, another week of rise into a consolidation, right? And then we had the third level, right? And then peak formation, as you can see, third level, peak formation. So what do you usually expect after, if you have identified your levels and you know we are still moving to the upside, because as you can see, this was just 1 month of rise, right? This was just 1 month of rise, right? So what do we expect after that? Remember, we expect a reset after 1 or 2 levels, right? And then we expect a reset. So I'm gonna delete this right now. I'm going to delete these levels so I can analyze this for you, and how you can also make it easier for you to identify your resets when it comes to Btmm. So we can all see we're at a supply area right here, right? We're at a supply area at this point. Fine, right? So can we all see that as we had this supply area at this point, we had this order block right here, right? A nice basing action right there. Why is this an order block? Because we can all see the aggressiveness, right? We can see how price moved away from that. Look at that candle, right? Look at that candle. After that had happened, right, price moved to the upside. As you are counting your levels, you know that this is your level 3, All right, we had a peak formation, and then after peak formation, of course, in this case, what are we waiting for? We are waiting for the manipulation move back to the order block, right? What I just showed you on the drawing, this is exactly what we had. As you can see, price then made its way back to the beginning, right? Price made its way back to the beginning of that aggressive move. There you go, where that aggressive move started, and where we also had this supply area. This is where price came back to, and look at that. The same momentum we had here is the same momentum that we could see going away from that. So from a clean chart, you might not be able to see that this was a reset. Remember, we identify a reset when we have such, right? After a 50-200 crossover, after a 200 crossover and a 50-200, not a 52 and a 50 EMA crossover, guys. So we're looking at a 200 EMA. We don't have the other watercolor, so I'll just use this one. Just keep in mind, this is your 50 EMA. So after we've got a 50-200 crossover, we expect a reset on the 200 EMA. Right, sorry about the mistakes, guys, but I know you guys understand me. Right, we expect the reset on the 200 EMA, right? That is where we expect a reset within a cycle run, right? So look at what we had right here, a nice one, right? We had a nice move up. As you see, this reset was initiated where? This reset was initiated on your order block, right? So this will make it easier for you to take better trades when it comes to Btmm, right? It's all about getting trades that have a high probability of working out. Now it comes to the same thing, guys, right? Let's go back to a clean chart, right? Remember, you always have to have an understanding. So what do we have right here? Remember, this was the beginning, right, of this manipulation move back to the order block, right? So as you can see, this would be a safe take profit. So you can see price hit that area, right, like 160 pips, and we know this is a reset, right? So from the reset, what do we have? You can see we've got a rally, base rally. Now look at how price left this area, right? Look at how price left this area. A nice move up. As you can see, momentum, right? Momentum. And because of this area, this is the reason why this area was taken out and we had a higher high, right? So can you see that? Same thing that I told you about. Identify your order block, identify the aggressive moves, and then for all those people who are going along there, wait for them, right? And then wait for price to come back to your order block, and then use this as your safest take profit, right? Use that as your safest take profit, right? So guys, this is everywhere. It all comes down to you understanding your market structure. Same thing that we had here, a nice order block there, aggressive moves away. Because of that, because of that aggressive move, we broke structure. After we broke structure, we wait for price to get back to our order block. And then look at how price moved away from that, right? Very important, guys. Very important. Here's another one, right? Something recent that we had right here. We can all see this is a peak. Come on, this is the H4 time frame, so we all know that's a peak reset, right? So from there, what do you have? We've got a drop, base drop on this base area right here. This is where we had the aggressive moves, right? And then after that, because of that aggressive move, we broke this structure. After breaking the structure, we had our price coming back to that area, and then this would be our safest take profit. But since you guys trade Btmm, if you go to your EMAs, guess what? You had a nice trade right there, a clean reset, right? After the reset, a 1350 crossover. What do you wait for after a 1350 crossover? A move back to the 50 or a 50 EMA bounce, or an ID50 if it's your H1 or your intraday time frame, which is your M15, right? There you go, a nice trap above the 50 EMA, and then we continued going to the downside, right? So guys, this is pretty much everywhere. This is pretty much everywhere, but you need to be selective, right? I'll always preach the importance of being selective, guys. If you guys have been following my videos, you will understand that I always preach the importance of being selective, right? So guys, that's it for today. Remember, don't just listen to me and not big test. Go look at your charts, spend some time, put in some hours, and this will definitely work for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell icon to be the first to watch when we upload any new content. For those interested in free signals and free setups, do join our Telegram channel in the description below.